guys, Mike Gross here, youtube.com/rockinmikegross, also rockingguitarlessons.com. You can also find me at youtube.com/rockingguitarlessons1. This is in the style of Yngwie Malmsteen, shred riff, using some sweep picking, and this is per request of Shredmeister 442123. In standard tuning is what I chose to do this in, so everything, or not standard, it's in a half step down. And obviously do this in standard tuning, it doesn't matter. But this, it's a good way to get going on arpeggios. They're all A minor arpeggios. They're all 3-string arpeggios. And so I'm doing minors and then I go into some diminished on the end. So, let me show you what's up, man. Malmsteen, you know, I'm a big fan of his playing. That's what it's really about. If you put everything aside, I've become a better player by being influenced by him. I've always liked his style of playing. In the early days, you know, particularly, you know, Steeler and Rising Forest, the early days of it. So check it out. Here's what you want to do for these. We're going to go with the 5th fret on the high E, pinky. You have a little bit of delay on, by the way. I'm going to pull that off to an open. And then we're going to go into, actually you can see the A minor shape coming up. Go first finger 1B and then middle finger 2G. And then, let's see, I'm palm muting on the way back. So, okay, so 5 open on the E, 1B, 2G. And at that point I bring in the palm muting. What's up, Chris? Oh, okay.
I was looking for your phone. Mom needs it.
It's in the room.
Oh.
Mom has it.
Is it okay if we watch it for a second?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Cool.
I'm teaching though, but I could put you guys on film. No, I won't do that to you.
No.
I won't. So you could palm mute sporadically wherever you want with it. I'm doing it on the way back. So, and then another A minor shape would be this one, which is, you can see the shape in there. There's our first one. But we're gonna go 8-5 on the E, pick, pull. Try to use these same fingers, particularly for this part. And then what I'm doing is knuckle shifting up for the rest. So you may want to get this finger higher than just the high E. And roll it as you go. So it's 8-5 pull, 5B, 5G. Don't make the finger do all the work in the sense of, and lifting it, you'll have trouble sweeping to keep it, you know, flowing. And that'll actually help you speed it up if you do the fingering this way. Palm mute it on the way back. Actually, you can do it part way up too, after the pull off. Another thing to watch is the picking. You can't see it that good in the video, but when I'm going up this way, I'm upstroking. When I'm going back down, it's downstroke picks. That's a big key to the sweep picking. If you can get used to going, because it's not individually, you know, being picked like this. So it's called sweep picking. So that part's very important. Okay, so 8-5 pull, we do 5B, 5G, then back to 5B, back to 5E. Then I'm using the knuckle for a pivot. And then a few things you can do on this next one. You can grab the 10 on the E and slide it to 12. So that's your call. If you don't slide it, you got to jump right to the 12. Or, and I kind of like it with the slides now that I think about it. I don't know if I did it that way in the intro, but it makes it flow more because you can gracefully move into the next arpeggio shape. And on this one, if we're going to slide, we'll go 8 to 12, pull off to 8, middle finger 10B, upstroke. And you can palm mute at that point if you want, at your discretion. And then first finger 9G, middle finger 10B. And then on this one, if we're going to follow the slide concept, let's catch the 12 high E next. And slide to 17, so. As opposed to, and having to just jump there. Oops. And pull that off to 12 on the high E. maybe subgroup from one arpeggio shape to the next as well. Oops. Pulling off to 12, then 13B up, 14G down, middle finger 13B down, and then 12E. So we have. And if you want, you can up that 12, and then we're going to switch to the diminished. So, but it doesn't matter on the transition between these. So we'll go for the diminished shapes. It's 13, pull off to 10 on the E, then go 12B up, 13G down. Now there's a few ways to go about this. Textbook finger would probably show 1, 3, 4, but at the end of the day, it's really about comfort, you guys. So if you want to end up going middle and third, Malmsteen himself does that. You know, it kind of depends on your finger length too. So it's a descending, ascending arpeggio. 13, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. So, oops. And we're going to take that concept and just move it a step and a half flat. It's the same shape though, but you got to switch out fingerings. That might be the most challenging part, to land third finger on 10E or fourth, whichever one you're using. But it's the same shape, pulling off to 7, 9, 10, back to 9 and 7 on the E. So we have. Right? So. And then again, a step and a half flat will put you at 7/4 on the high E, but do the exact same shape. Doing the pull off first. 6/7 BG, back to 6/4 BE. So that you would have 3 chunks of that diminished. And then we'll take it a step and a half further. If the stretch is too far with these fingers, then use your pinky at this point. It's 4/1 on the high E. Pick pull, 3/4 BG, work your way back up, 3B 1E. So you can see your 4 diminished chords in there. Oops. A little reminder of things that can get you there quicker is your secondary note that you're pulling off to is going to be your start note for the next diminished pattern. So if you're looking at your index, that'll be where you're putting your third finger or fourth finger. Right? And there's always little variations. You know, sometimes I'll hammer pull through some of them, like, or you can always adjust them, you know. And slide them, make them little subgroups of 2. Right? That's between the first 2, and then you can do the same concept between the second and third arpeggio, which would be this. Oops. Right? And then the last 2. But I do suggest it's good practice to try the 4/1 finger layout because it's metal. No, just kidding. But to get this finger used to it, because you want to be able to really do, you know, I was watching a John Petrucci. Well, actually, I have this instructional DVD. It was from back in the 90s, and you know, he'll purposely use the hard finger, and I thought, how cool is that? Because a lot of times we're looking for the easiest way out. There's nothing wrong with comfort, but if you don't push yourself with your pinky, then it's always going to be the more uncomfortable one. So it really made sense. So try multiple fingerings on this stuff, all right? So slow it down, this would be everything. I would just switch it up to the neck pickup. Then you can start it over. And then go between the 2, like. Right? Alright, so, yeah, There is a story about Mr. Malmsteen, but I don't have the liberty to talk about it here. It's actually funny. The guys that know me pretty good, I've told them already. But no matter what people think or say, you know, you're influenced by what you're influenced by. You can't deny that. And if it's something that will make you a better guitar player, absorb it like a sponge, man. It doesn't matter whether it's Stevie Ray Vaughan, Al Di Meola, Alan Holdsworth, Paco de Lucia, or whoever, man. It doesn't matter as long as it's something you can gleam off of and become a better player, and that's really what it's about. I kind of grew up in the neoclassical shred stuff, and when I heard Malmsteen, the first time I heard him, he was with a band called Steeler, which had Ron Keel on vocals, and he had this guitar solo that started with acoustic guitar and then went into distortion, and it blew my mind. First time I had heard a sweep, at least played like that. And then, you know, but I also was listening to you know, other players like Warren DeMartini and Brad Gillis and Randy Rhoads and Jakey Lee, and some of those guys didn't really do the sweeps. And to me, I always liked the well-rounded player. For me personally, I would like to grab a little bit of, you know, this Warren riff or this George Lynch riff, and then some Malmsteen, and then some Vinnie Moore, and then Stevie Ray Vaughan, and just, you know, throw it all into the stew pot, man, and let it become you. Make your own style out of it. The best advice I could give you is be open to all styles of music, alright? So hope you had fun with that lesson. This was tuned a half step down, like I said. Doesn't matter though. You can do it in whatever tuning. Make sure to subscribe to youtube.com/rockandmikegross. I don't know if I'll put this on my other channel, but Rock and Mike Gross is really the more active channel. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely do that, because you'll get the updates a lot more on this channel. When I say this, make sure you're on youtube.com/rockandmikegross. Tell your buddies, spread it around on Facebook, social media. That's what it's there for, and I appreciate you guys. It's been a fun journey, a little over 2 years now, and I'm loving doing this and helping you guys become better players. Of course, I have my website, rockandguitarlessons.com. If you'd like to become a member there, we have a reduced price there as well, so be sure to check into it. I also teach privately, so if you want to take some private lessons with me on the internet using Skype, hit me up. All that information is actually at rockandguitarlessons.com. It's $59 an hour as of now, and $39 a half hour, and then a monthly breakdown if you pay for the month. We work on any and everything that you want to work on. I'm teaching all around the world, from England to Norway to Canada, the States, Japan, everywhere. And I also offer what's called CVT lessons, which is something I came up with actually for one of my guys out in Japan. Suggested when I first opened my channel. So they're custom video tablature lessons. If you don't have Skype where you live, or the internet's not fast enough, or whatever, or you don't have time to do a set lesson every week with me, this is another route to go. And that information can also be found at the website, and it's those are really effective way, man. And when it comes down to songs, we basically get all the detail stuff for you, man. It could be all the guitar parts, just the solo. They're custom. You let me know the parts you want, and I'll get them for you the way these bands are doing them. And until next time, I'm Mike Gross. Have fun with this Malmsteen style riff. Remember to work slow and work in subgroups, and your playing will improve. Alright? Start slow like this. And you can do it on your clean channel as well. But right? Oops. But subgrouping, in other words. Get used to the motions that way.